Now, let's make the rabbit's tail. A color-blocked rabbit has a blue tail. The solid color rabbit has a yellow tail. This demonstration uses the tail of the color-blocked rabbit as an example. The rabbit's tail is made by starting with a magic ring and using spiral crochet. Let's start crocheting now. Take out the yarn of the corresponding color. First, make a magic ring. Start with holding the yarn. Hold the yarn tail with your right hand. Pass the yarn between your little finger and ring finger. Pass it through the palm between the middle finger and index finger. Hang the yarn onto the index finger. Then wrap the yarn around the middle finger once. Pinch the crossing point of the yarn with your thumb and middle finger. Then take out the crochet hook. The hook tip is facing towards you. Insert the crochet hook through the loop on your middle finger. Now position the crochet hook in front of the working yarn. Rotate the crochet hook so that the hook tip faces the working yarn. Pull the crochet hook horizontally to the right. Pull the yarn through the loop on your middle finger. Rotate the crochet hook so the hook tip faces toward you. This way, a magic ring is formed on your middle finger. Then crochet a chain stitch to secure the magic ring. Yarn over the hook. Pull the yarn through the loop on the crochet hook. This is a chain stitch. It looks like a V shape when viewed from the side. We have now made the magic ring and crocheted one chain stitch. This chain stitch is to raise the height. It is not counted in the stitch count. Now, let's start round 1. Crochet 6 single crochet. Insert the crochet hook through the magic ring. Yarn over the hook. Pull the yarn through the 2 strands of the magic ring. Yarn over the hook. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. The first single crochet is completed. Place a stitch marker to mark the first stitch. Mark the first stitch of every round with a stitch marker. Insert the crochet hook through the magic ring. Yarn over the hook. Pull the yarn through the magic ring. Yarn over the hook. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. The second single crochet is completed. The third single crochet. The fourth single crochet. The fifth single crochet. The sixth single crochet. Six single crochet are completed. From the side, you can see 6 V shapes. Everyone can count them. Next, pull the yarn tail, which is the shorter strand. Tighten the magic ring until there are no gaps. Round 1 is now completed. In round 2, crochet a single crochet followed by 1 increased stitch as one sequence. Repeat this sequence twice. 2 sequences will make a total of 8 stitches. For the first sequence, crochet to single crochet first. The first single crochet. Remove the stitch marker to mark the first stitch. The first stitch of each round should always be marked with a stitch marker. The second single crochet. Next, crochet an increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. For the second sequence, start by crocheting to single crochet. The first one. The second one. Next, crochet an increase stitch. The fabric curls up, so let's tidy it up. Make sure the front side of the fabric is facing us. The yarn tail is positioned on the inside of the fabric. Round 2 is now completed. Everyone, count carefully, there are 8 stitches in total. Round 3. Crochet 8 single crochet. The first single crochet. Remove the stitch marker to mark the first stitch. Mark the first stitch of every round with a stitch marker. The second one. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. The sixth one. The seventh stitch. The eighth stitch. Eight single crochet are completed. Round 3 is now finished. Everyone, please count carefully, there are 8 stitches in total. In round 4, crochet for decreased stitches. First, remove the stitch marker. Attach the stitch marker. Mark the first stitch of each round with a stitch marker. The second one. A third one. The fourth one. For decrease stitches are completed. Round 4 is now finished. Everyone, please count carefully, there are 4 stitches in total. Leave an 8-inch yarn tail for sewing. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn tail out. Remove the stitch marker. Cut off the excess yarn tail. The tail is completed. Please crochet the other tail yourself using the same method. Now, let's start sewing the rabbit. Except for the legs. The sewing methods are the same for all other parts of the rabbit. We will use the color blocked rabbit as an example for sewing. Take out the body part. Add stuffing cotton. Make the body is fully stuffed. Then start sewing. Take out the sewing needle. Thread the yarn tail onto the needle. Take out the head. We need to sew the body between rounds 14 and 15 of the head. Here is round 1. Round 2. Rounds 3. Round 4. Round 5. Round 6. Round 7. Round 8. Round 9. Round 10. Round 11. Round 12. Round 13. Round 14. Round 15. Insert the needle through the middle between these 2 rounds. Align the body with the head. Begin sewing. Sew along the body's contour. After sewing 1 round along the contour, weave the excess yarn inside the fabrics several times. This helps prevent the yarn from loosening. Cut off the excess yarn tail. The body and head are now sewn together. Now, let's start sewing the ears. Take out the ears. We need to sew the ears on the second round of the head. The blue ear is sewn on the right side. The yellow ear is sewn on the left side. Next, let's demonstrate sewing the blue ear. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Find the second round of the head. The place where you change yarn should be at the back. The front part should face us directly. Here is the first round. Here is the second round. Remove the stitch marker. Mark the position where you will sew. Mark the other side as well. Make sure both sides are symmetrical. The fabric's front side should face us. Next, start sewing. Pass the sewing needle through the marked position. Remove the stitch marker. Align the fabric and sew it together. First, confirm the sewing position. Next, pull the needle out to stitches away on the back. Then, secure the ear in place. Thread the yarn back from under the ear to the back. Pull tight to secure it firmly. Weave the excess yarn inside the fabric several times. Cut off the excess yarn tail. This completes sewing one ear. For the other ear, follow the same sewing method. Next, start sewing the arms. For the solid color arms, the blue one is on the left, and the yellow one is on the right. For the color changing arms, the blue-orange one is on the left, and the yellow-orange one is on the right. Next, start sewing. Take out the left arm. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. We need to flatten the arm. We will sew the arms onto round 12 on both sides of the body. We start counting from the bottom of the body. Here is round 1. Round 12. It is the last round of the body. Find the corresponding positions on both sides, down from the ears. Confirm the following positions. Next, flatten the arm and align it for sewing. After sewing, weave the excess yarn inside the fabrics several times. Cut off the excess ear and tail. This completes the sewing of the arm on one side. For the other side, follow the same method to sew it yourself. Now, start sewing the legs. Begin with the sitting style rabbit. For the sitting style rabbit, the leg that changes color every round is the left leg. The leg that changes color every 3 rounds is the right leg. Begin sewing. Take out the body and left leg. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Hinge the leg flat. We will sew the legs onto rounds 4 to 6 on both sides of the body. Secure one stitch facing forward. Place the leg sideways for sewing. First, locate rounds 4 to 6. These are the rounds. Find the side of the fabric. Insert the needle at round 4 and pull it out at round 6. They are aligned on the same line. Hinge the fabric flat and start sewing. Find the corresponding position. Then secure one more stitch facing forward. Sew once more for extra security. Hold tight. Weave the excess yarn back and forth inside the fabric several times. Cut off the excess yarn tail. The left leg of the sitting rabbit is now sewn on. For the other side, follow the same method to sew it yourself. This is how the sitting rabbit looks after sewing is completed. Next, let's start sewing the standing rabbit. The yellow one is the left leg. The blue one is the right leg. Now, let's begin sewing. Take out the body and left leg. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Find round 4. This is round 4. Confirm the position. Then start sewing. Hinge the leg flat and sew it in place. Weave the excess yarn inside the fabric a few times. Cut off the excess yarn tail. One leg of the standing rabbit is now sewn on. Sew the other leg using the same method. The standing rabbit's legs are now sewn on. Next, sew the tail. The color blocked rabbit has a blue tail. The solid color rabbit has a yellow tail. Now, let's start sewing the tail. Take out the color blocked rabbit in the blue tail. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Sew the tail onto the middle of the back of the body at round 6. Find the 6th round. Here is the 6th round. Find the middle position and insert the needle. After sewing, weave the excess yarn inside the fabric several times. Cut off the excess yarn tail. The tail is now sewn on. Now, start embroidering the decorative stripes on the head. First, take out the white yarn. You need to take about 8 inches long yarn. Thread the yarn onto the sewing needle. You need to embroider 5 decorative stripes between rounds 9 and 10 of the head. Leave a stitch gap between each stripe. First, insert the needle from the back of the fabric. Pull the yarn through from any spot on the front. Leave a yarn tail at the back. Locate rounds 9 and 10. These are the 2 rounds just below the orange part of the face. We'll start embroidering diagonally from here. Then leave it to stitch gap. Embroider 1 stripe starting at this position. Again, leave it to stitch gap here. This way all 5 stripes are embroidered. Insert the needle from the same spot at the back. Tie the 2 yarn tails together at the back. Then cut off the excess yarn tails. Pinch the fabric to tuck the yarn end inside. This way the stripes on the face are embroidered. Now let's start working on the belly button. Take out the blue yarn. Cut about 8 inches long. Thread the yarn onto the sewing needle. Insert the needle from the back. Pull the yarn through from any spot on the front. Leave a length of yarn tail at the back. Embroider an X-shaped belly button on the front side of the body between rounds 6 and 7. Find the 6th and 7th rounds. That is, the position of these 2 rounds. Find the middle position and embroider an X shape. Pull the yarn out from the same position at the back. Tie a knot with the 2 yarn tails. Cut off the excess yarn tails. Pinch the fabric. Tuck the yarn end inside. The belly button is completed. Now, let's tie the ribbon. Take out the black ribbon. We need 20 inches long ribbon. The ribbon in the material kit is 1 meter long. We only need half. Wrap the ribbon around the rabbit's neck. Tie a knot. Make the right side of the ribbon a little longer than the left. Next, fold the left side of the ribbon in half. The pattern side is facing up. Then, wrap the right side of the ribbon around once. The pattern side is facing outward. Pass it through the middle loop like this. Pull the right side of the ribbon to tighten the middle loop. Adjust the shape a bit. Adjust this side as well. Trim the ends. Adjust it once more. Repeat the same steps on this side. Adjust the shape of the bow again. One rabbit is now completed. Please make the other solid color rabbit following the same methods.